Well, hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. I'm just checking if everything is working. Okay, yeah, I see that it's working. So, welcome back to our weekly webinars from the Teachers and Accent Center. I'm just gonna wait maybe a little bit to see who's gonna join us. Let's see if anyone comes on time or you are late. So I'm just give it like half a minute and then I will start. Okay, I think that we can start. So for those who will miss the beginning, you can watch it later. As always, you can watch all my webinars that I did before. Just let me remind you that this is the third week. Oh, I'm sorry, second week. Oh, time on quarantine is so long. It feels like forever. Like I've been doing it forever. I don't know. So yes, this is the second week that we are doing weekly webinars here in Accent Center. My name is Alona. For those who know me, hi. Those who don't, welcome. So yet again, my name is Alona, and I'm a teacher at the Accent Language Center. Every work week, every day at 8 o'clock in the evening, me or other two of my colleagues give you some interesting, valuable information about English language. Some of us talk about grammar, some of us talk about lexical aspects, or just interesting topics. And I want to say that if there is any topic that you personally would like us to talk about, let us know in comments on YouTube, and we will be glad to make a special webinar talking about whatever is interesting to you. So, just 1 second, I'll see who's here. Okay, like, well, technically, YouTube tells me that there are 3 people on air right now, so okay, I will just go on with it. So for those who came, thank you. And today I'm going to talk about idioms. Idioms. Last time on Monday, I was talking about um, other topic. You can check it. But today I chose to talk about idioms because idioms are those specific things that can help you to improve your language, that can help you to make your language sound more English, technically. So, of course, a lot of people think that idioms and proverbs and all this kind of things, they are meant to be on some high levels of English, like upper intermediate or higher. But let me tell you, it's not true. You definitely should start learning and trying to use idioms, proverbs, I don't know, like some specific expressions right away. Like, as far as we can say, this is that thing that can help you to feel the language. Why? So what do we know about idioms? What are idioms? Idioms are specific combination of words, or we can say it's a specific phrase with a fixed meaning. And this meaning is absolutely like 95% of situations. It's absolutely far away from the literate translation. So you can't translate idiom as it is. Like you can't translate just word by word and expect to catch the feeling or understand the meaning and how to use it. Because idioms usually come from the old times. So idioms reflect the heritage of the culture, the heritage of the language, and they portray this in the phrase and add specific flavor to the speech. You can see or you can hear idioms everywhere, but right now, of course, the most popular is what? Movies and series. And of course, you can hear the idioms there everywhere. Oh, don't forget the songs, of course, also very rich because one little phrase can contain a huge meaning and add this flavor to the lyrics or to the conversation. So idioms, they usually are, let's say, very specific for each language. Of course, for example, if we take English language and Russian language, there are few idioms that are pretty similar. They have a common sense, but most of all, most of the situations are like super far. So what you can do about idioms? You can only learn them. What are the, let's say, basic, most popular ways to learn idioms? You can either take a situation, yeah, like take an example from the movie, from series, whatever you saw it, and try to take this idiom and put it into some situations where you, in particular, can use it. Yeah. So make some kind of connection between this idiom, between this phrase with a special meaning, and the situations where you personally can use it. Then it will, let's say, stuck to your tongue or stick in your brain, whatever you prefer. And another very easy, I would say, way to learn idioms is to separate them in blocks according to the topic. What I mean, there are a lot of idioms related to one specific topic. Let's say the simplest are animals, weather, situations. So start with the weather, for example. Write down the block of idioms related to animals or weather and learn them, and then try to use them with your teacher or with yourself. Talk to yourself, try to compose situations, sentences using this beautiful idioms with the meaning it's supposed to carry. Today I'm gonna give you some of them which I chose as, let's say, pretty popular and easy to remember. So please try to learn them in future and let me know in the comments if you find them useful. And maybe later you can also write in the comments if you managed to learn them and if it was effective. Okay, so let's start with number one. Kill two birds with one stone. Well, I think here the meaning is pretty easy to understand. It means to achieve something, two targets with one action. Yeah, we have a pretty similar phrase in Russian. Убить двух зайцев одним выстрелом. Apparently, English people prefer to kill birds, but it doesn't change the meaning. So kill two birds with one stone is pretty easy phrase to say that you want to achieve two targets with one action. So for example, I'm gonna go to this mall after work. I need to buy some gift for my mother and to pay the bill. So I figured I would kill two birds with one stone and go to this exact mall, for example. It's kind of popular situation, so you can use it there. Okay, next, crocodile tears. We have the kind of similar idiom, крокодиловые слезы, which means the fake tears. Yeah. So crocodiles, they are known to be very cruel and vicious animals. So we don't really believe that crocodile can cry. And of course, crocodile tears is an equivalent or a synonym of not believing someone's reaction or someone's feelings. So, for example, you can say, "Oh, have you seen this? Like my friend, like he was very upset. Huh? It's crocodile tears." It means that you don't believe a single minute that he's sorry about something or he's upset. This is a common use. Okay, next one. An elephant in the room. Pretty obvious, right? An elephant in the room is something that is so obvious and hangs in the air. So some problem, maybe unsolved conflict or misunderstanding that prevents the normal way of life. So you can use it, for example, if in a group of people or in your team at work, there is some cold air, so you don't really feel comfortable and you want to set all the things right and discuss it and close the case. And then you say, let's address an elephant in a room. So, which means let's talk about this obvious problem that we are having right now before it ruins everything. Okay? I think it's pretty clear, right? Okay, let's move on. Feel blue. Well, this is a pretty popular one. It's like I can name a lot of songs where this phrase is used. I'm feeling blue. I was feeling blue. She was blue. But what does it mean? To feel blue is to be in a certain kind of mood, to be upset, to be depressed, to be in a bad mood. So to feel blue is to experience this negative feelings related to depression and sadness. So when you're saying, like, your friends are calling you, hey, let's go out, let's go to the park, like, not, it's not real now, but okay, let's go somewhere, do some fun, and you are not in the mood for that. So you say, no, guys, I'm feeling blue today. I'll pass. So by this, you let your friends understand that you have this very complicated situation in your head and you don't want to interact with anybody. Okay, an eye candy. An eye candy is not, of course, is not literally your eyeballs, and it's not a candy, of course. An eye candy is something that is so sweet and nice to look at. So it's kind of a compliment, yeah. So if somebody would tell you or tell somebody that, oh, she's an eye candy, it's a compliment that this person is experiencing very sweet feelings towards the person this phrase was addressed to. So if you say that you're such an eye candy, it's a compliment, and you mean that I don't know. Usually it's used for girls, of course, girls or kids. Yeah, not for the men. I'm sorry. So if you give this compliment, then you're expressing this positive feelings towards the person. White elephant. Well, this one is pretty interesting because it has a very interesting historical background. This idiom comes as a surprise from Thailand when it was the Siam Kingdom. So the white elephants are and were very rare creatures. Yeah. So the king of Siam was possessing all the white elephants that could be found. But the thing is, not only this animal was a privileged possession, but it was very expensive to have because it required very special food, very special treatment, because these elephants, white elephants, they were considered sacred animals. Yes, so I hope you know what's sacred animal. Sacred animal is the animal that is related to God. Yeah, so it's like impersonalization of the God on the earth, and or just the animal that can be touched. Yeah, can be touched and should be treated very, very, very specifically and nicely. So this privileged possession was also used in a negative way because, for example, if the king wanted to show to somebody that he's not happy with their behavior, so technically to punish this person, he would present this person one of his white elephants. And it wasn't a gift, yeah, because it was a way to send this person down because he would have to spend a lot of money, a fortune, on this elephant or elephant at least. But right now, the idiom white elephants means something very exclusive, very rare, very, let's say, priceless, but useless. So, for example, there was like you're at work and you had some very prestigious and promising project which just proved to be not that, and you say, oh, this project turned into white elephant, which means that this project, instead of being very successful and effective, became just expensive and useless project. Okay, I think it's pretty useful. Reach for the moon. Well, here it's not really complicated to understand. Reach for the moon is to try to achieve something that is probably beyond reach, because we humans, we can't reach the moon because it's like way too far. And it means that you're trying to achieve something that is quite unreachable. Okay, next one, chasing rainbows. Pretty much related to the previous one because it's impossible to chase. Uh, well, actually, you can chase the rainbow, but you can never catch the rainbow. So, chasing rainbows means doing something, let's say, useless because you can't really achieve it. So, for example, if I don't know, your friend is trying to get the girl who said clearly that she's not interested, and you're telling him, dude, you're chasing rainbows, like wake up, she's not gonna be with you, you're wasting your time, you will never get her because she's not interested, for example. Okay, this one is my favorite, one of my favorites. This is probably the first English idiom that I've learned. It was like maybe in school, maybe like fifth grade or something. Raining cats and dogs. This is like the pure English thing to say. Actually, it means just that it's raining heavily. So the rain is super strong or something. But a lot of students ask me why, like how English people came up with this very, very strange idea to compare heavy rain with cats and dogs falling from the sky. Like, where is the connection? What's the relation? Well, technically, it's pretty easy, but a bit gruesome. So back in 17th century, in England, the water draining system was very bad. And in case of a heavy rain, if the rain was for a long time and it was strong, it was overflowing, and all of the things that were in the system that got into this system, they were just raised by the water and spread all over the streets. And the most common thing that was stuck there were the bodies of dead cats and dogs. So when it was raining heavily, the streets were overflowed with dead bodies of cats and dogs. So literally, it's not very nice. It doesn't sound pretty. It wasn't pretty, but that's the origin of this idiom. Okay, next one. Armchair traveler. Well, technically, we all are armchair travelers right now because all we can do is to know about places from the books, movies, webcams all around the world, somebody else's old stories. So, armchair traveler is a person who never travels but talks about it all the time and pretends to know everything just because he or she read about it, heard about it, watched something. So it's not really compliment. So it's more like a way to tell a person that he's taking too much without actually knowing the situation. Have a lot on your plate. Well, this is a popular phrase from the movies and series. You can hear like the main character, or not the main character, say, "Oh my God, I have a lot on my plate." What does it mean? Of course, it's not about food. It's more about things that you have to do, or it also can mean that you put everything on doing something. Yeah, for example, you work hard to get somewhere to achieve something, and you put everything into this. Like, you gave up everything, you just put all of your efforts, I don't know, maybe money and everything into this project, and you say, I have a lot on my plate, like I put everything, or you're just overflowed with tasks. It's also possible to use. It's time to face the music. Of course, it's not about actually facing the sounds. Yeah, it's impossible. But it means that it's time to face the facts, to um, to accept them and to try to deal with them. So it's pretty much sad because usually in movies the character that says this kind of phrase is ready to face the sad consequences or the negative consequences of something. So he or she is like, yeah, it's time to face the music and to get what I deserve, for example. So, an apple of my eye. Of course, again, as with the idiom eye candy that I was talking about before, it's not about your eyeballs. It's not. It's not related to the vision. An apple of my eye is someone super precious to you. So you refer to a person who means a lot to you by this idiom. So here's an apple of my eye. Like, you can talk like that about your boyfriend, husband, your kid, or maybe your dog or cat. An apple of my eye. So we are really, let's say, connected to our body parts. So an eyeball is very important for us. So an apple of my eye, by saying that, you mean that this person is super important. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to show you is just a little, it's a short clip with another idiom. I just decided that maybe the video would be fun for you to watch. It's a small part of one of my favorite series. It's called Mentalist. If you haven't seen it, make sure that you watch it because it's really amazing. It's not complicated for perception. Watch it in original because it's funny. It's a detective, but with interesting twists. And of course, there are a lot of interesting idioms, phrasal expressions, which you can pick up and use in future for your words. So let's watch it.
You're losing your touch. You didn't know it was her.
Don't be ridiculous. The trick worked exactly as I intended. It didn't matter which one I thought it was. That's how a good trick works.
I'm not sure if it was super clear for you. I'm sorry if it wasn't. Um, it's the first time I tried to include the video into the presentation. I'm not sure how it worked. So if you haven't heard it, I'll just repeat it. So to lose your touch is to I know the equivalent in Russian is терять хватку. So it means that you're not as good at something as you used to be. So it's pretty similar in the meaning, but it sounds nice. You're losing your touch. Like, yeah, you're getting bad at this. Like you're losing your special abilities or your knowledge or something. So it's usually used in sarcastic way or in a criticizing way, maybe. Okay, and these are all idioms that I've prepared for you today because I'll be honest, there are over 20,000 idioms in English language, and of course, every year new ones appear in the language. It's normal because, as I was saying before, language is not a steady thing. Yeah, it's evolving, it's developing, it's constantly changing. So idioms come and go. Some of them become rare and old-fashioned, but some of them they maybe change their meaning. It's also possible. So make sure to keep your hand on the pulse. And if you want to use the idioms, try to make sure that they mean exactly that. But in general, these idioms that I was talking about, they are in the language for a long time and they don't change. And you can use them. You should use them, and they will bring this beautiful flavor to your language. Okay, let me see if there are any comments. If there is anything you would like to ask me or to clarify how to use it, or maybe you can send me a sentence in the comments with one of the idioms that we've talked about, and I will tell you if you used it in the right way. So we have just a couple of minutes. I hope that you will do something. I really like when there is some kind of interaction between us. So don't hesitate, type in. Come on, people. Don't be shy. I would like to say again that all of the webinars that we do, me, my colleagues Artem and Alex, all of them are available on our YouTube channel, on Accent Language Center YouTube channel. You can watch them whenever it's comfortable for you. If you missed the online version, you can always watch it in record, and you can stop, write the idioms, or for example, on Monday I was talking about proverbs. You can write them down in your notebook to learn them afterwards. And of course, you can always write your questions afterwards in comments. We will see them and we will answer them. Don't even think that we will skip it. So, but just make sure that you get some interesting knowledge, even if we are on quarantine. And I hope that this information is interesting for a lot of people. So, as far as I see, there are no comments for me. I think it's a good thing also. So it means that you understood everything. Everything is clear. So I think I'm gonna bow out now. And I will see you next Monday, right here at 8 o'clock. And yeah, I think I'm gonna stop right here. So have a great evening, and make sure you come over every work day, I'm sorry, from Monday to Friday at 8 o'clock, and we will talk